Welcome to Harry's Hook. I am a journalist, big fan of boxing, I've written published articles on it, I also train and spar. We're talking Spence versus Crawford again, you better believe it. But today, I'm going to talk about which punch I believe is going to be really key for each fighter, and I will explain why. But first, if you enjoy this content, do me a solid, like the video, subscribe to the channel, I appreciate your support. Let's start with Spence. When we see him fight, it is a flurry of power punches, a ferocious assault to the body, but none of those blows, to me, are the key strike for Spence. Errol's key punch is the jab. Now, I can already hear you boxing heads, aficionados going, "Really, Harry? Talking up the jab as the most important punch? How profound." I get it. And I'll tell you now, the jab is not my key punch for Crawford against Spence, so stick around for that. But for the next minute or so, let me talk about the jab. I think pretty much everyone can agree that Spence is most effective when he is at close range. And so, if inside is Spence's destination, then the jab is the vehicle to get him there, ideally without incident. And for Errol, the truth is that he has a very good jab. He'll throw power jabs with force, rangefinder jabs, and just stay active with it to occupy his opponent's guard and take away their time to think. In fact, he's ranked at number 10 in all of boxing for most jabs thrown per round, according to CompuBox data. And he can be quite accurate with it too. Against Danny Garcia, CompuBox had him landing it 20% of the time. The relentless pressure that he brings is brutal, both physically and mentally. But it will be difficult for him to apply that pressure if his jab is not landing effectively. So he's going to have to make sure that Crawford does not take that jab away from him. And if he can do that, his active jab could upset Crawford's rhythm and help him get that much closer to victory. Alright, on to Crawford. Bud's got a varied arsenal here, so there are several good options, but to me, his key punch will be the uppercut. One of the things that makes Crawford's uppercut special is that, in a way, it's analogous to him as a fighter. It's a versatile weapon. He'll vary the length on them, he'll throw to the body, he'll throw to the head, and he'll get more creative by varying the angle or firing multiple right in a row. And as Spence works his way inside, he's really going to have to look out for Crawford's practiced and excellent counter uppercut. Also, having your weight on the front foot as Spence does leaves you more vulnerable to the uppercut. Plus, with Spence's high guard, that uppercut is going to be especially useful for pinning and lifting that guard, which will in turn set up Crawford's hooks to the head and to the body. In his most recent fight against David Avanesian, obviously he's no Spence, but he also held a high guard while trying to get inside, and Crawford had a picnic throwing uppercuts. We'll see if he tries the same thing against Spence. And that right there is Harry's Hook. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that the jab for Spence and the uppercut for Crawford will be most key for them? Or do you think there are other punches that will be more key for each fighter? Also, be sure to check out my other content on Spence vs. Crawford, including my preview and prediction.